Suppose I want to find some basic statistics on a set of data. What I'll need to do first is enter a set of data. I'll put it into a list. So in the stat, then the list editor. And I'm just going to put in some random values to get us started. Okay. To find the mean of this list, I have a couple of options. One thing that I can do is quit out of the list editor, second and list, come over here to math. There's a lot of different types of statistics that can be done based off of a list. So if I want the mean, I can use this function mean and then give it the list that I want it to find the mean of, and it will find my average. Same thing for median. I can use that function over here under the list and math menu and come down to median and find the median of the data in L1. But if I have a lot of statistics that I need to do, instead of doing them individually, there's a convenience function under the stat key. Notice I didn't do lists this time, I just hit stat. Slide over here to where it says calc. The very first item says 1var stats. So it stands for single variable statistics. So it's going to do a bunch of statistics off of the list that you tell it. Now it will by default run the statistics on L1, but it's probably a good habit to go ahead and tell it anyway. So it will do a bunch of different statistics, starting with the mean. This is the sum of the data in L1. This is the sum of the squares of those values. These you'll learn about later. These are standard deviations, this one and the next one. N is the number of items that it used in the calculation. And if you scroll down, you'll see some more. A minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and a maximum. So a lot of different values are found here, but at this point, it's really the mean and the median that we're interested in. Notice that it doesn't do a mode, and the reason that it doesn't do a mode is because the mode is technically reserved for data that is qualitative. And so the calculator doesn't have any means of using qualitative values, so it just doesn't give you the value of a mode. However, if you quit out of the 1var stats and you go into the list operations and you sort your list. All right, so I'm going to sort it ascending. Then I can go into my list editor, and when the data is sorted, if I happen to have had a mode, so a value that appeared more frequently than any of the others, it would have shown up in this list. So it would have shown up next to one another. So for instance, let me put 35 in here. Now I'm going to sort the list. So I'm going to sort it in an ascending fashion. And when I hit stat and go back to edit, the 35s appear next to one another because they're sorted, and that's the way that's going to show up. So then I would know that 35 is the mode. Or you can just scan through the data, but scanning through, sometimes you might miss one if there happens to be more than one mode.